following right now.
It don't matter. But if you're live on Insta, and might as well let your people have something to talk about. And
there's the neighbor, Paul. Paul, I hope your vacation went good, buddy. My neighbor just got back from 2 weeks or 3 weeks of traveling.
I just got back from 1 week.
Oh, you got Colorado, right? Didn't you go to Colorado?
Oh, look at that. And then I'm going to send you a request and request. You could accept me, and then we can let everybody know what we're doing. Oh my gosh, we're already live all across the world. Oh, this is so awesome. I get so fired up, especially.
Dude, cool.
You got, okay.
Yep.
And hold on, I just got to find that. Oh, I see you now.
Drum roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to. Oh man, we already got people watching.
It's nice.
Oh, I see. I have to hit this button. I forgot to hit the gallery button so people can see both of us. And hello, my peoples. Oh, there you go. I just need to silence that one. And we are back. Here I am, Fly Navarro, with the No BS World Tour, coming at you live on this wonderful Monday morning. I got Matt and Jessica from Real Tight Charters. Good afternoon. Should I really, instead of saying Matt and Jessica, maybe I should just say the Beauty and the Beast?
Ooh,
damn, I told you I was going to wait till we were live.
Man.
We are simulcasting this on YouTube, on Twitch, on Periscope, and Instagram. So, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Josh, good to see you. What's going on? Matt, Jessica, Beauty, Beast, why don't you guys start introducing yourselves?
Yeah, definitely. No, well, first off, thank you so much for having us on the show. It's awesome to be part of the no fly zone and the no BS and none of all that good stuff. But my name is Matt Foyo. I'm the owner of Real Tight Fishing Charters. I've been fishing literally my entire life. And then I met the wonderful Jess about 5 years ago. We just had our 5-year anniversary, actually, in the Bahamas, fishing down there in San Salvador. And it was love at first bite, as you would say. And
hey, man, this is a family show. Listen. There's no politics, and I ask people not to drop the F-bomb because we have a lot of kids. So don't be telling me about your biting and any of that.
I got you. No, it's actually, the way we met was a pretty cool story, actually. We were fishing on the Blue Heaven. I was working for Steve Swindle at the time, and we were fishing on our 4th day of 5 days down in San Salvador. And the dogs are playing back there. Sorry.
It's okay. They're allowed on the show, too.
They're cool, though.
Hey, bring them on the show. I'm okay.
But we met, and that was funny. Jess was giving me a quiz about, why do you have your baits like this? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? And I just was answering every question as quick and best as I could. And as I was talking to her, she was sitting on the gunnel on the starboard side there. And I look over her shoulder, and I see the infamous bill swiping going on my right long.
Richard Gunn from Lucas Oil just joined in. I got to show him some love.
Oh, nice.
Everybody loves Richard, and everybody loves Lucas Oil. But so anyway, as you're talking to her, next thing you know, you see a blue marlin show up.
I see that bill. I see the infamous bill swipe happening, and then fish just kind of rolled on the bait and just ate and fish on. And I let her eat for a sec. It was we were pitching. We had ballyhoos on our longs. With chugger heads, and that was my style when I was down there. We had gone from nothing but big baits down there to switching it up and trying to use some smaller baits because we had that year when we were there was a lot of white marlin that were there, and so we tried to switch it up, and it was successful. We were like 3 for 4 that day. We had a killer day, and
yeah, but that was the first marlin I ever caught, and that was the last marlin of the day. So I was like thinking, oh, maybe I'm not going to get a shot, just the luck of the draw. And then I got my shot, and he was there, and it was
cool.
So is that what helped seal the deal when he helped you catch your first blue marlin?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say so, because I was really impressed. I was impressed with how he just jumped right in and was like, all right, do this, hold this, stand here. We have pictures of that moment, and like
it was pretty special. It was pretty cool. You know, it's one of those things that is like ingrained in your mind forever. You know, when you see, and I can honestly, to this day, I can still picture just her sitting on the gunnel and that bill just swipe, swipe, swipe coming at you.
And I was like, he's not listening to anything I'm saying.
Definitely not.
It's all good. Listen, my girlfriend feels the same way.
You know how it is.
Well, I'm going to ask you, just because I'm watching on the Instagram. Hey, Bob Rockaway, good to see you. Bob, do you have my Mercedes? I'm about ready to buy it from you. Let's see. What I wanted to say was move your cell phone with Instagram in front of your computer so everybody looks like they. Okay, there you go.
I just didn't want the feedback. Was there a little There was a little feedback.
You just got to lower the volume.
Okay.
We got Bobby Graves joining in, Perry Mitchell. Good to see you, Perry. Bob, thank you. So Bob is the big Mercedes dealer down in Miami.
Oh,
and
nice.
I've always teased him that I want my big, or not my big, but just I'm ready for my Mercedes. So
I told her Jess is ready for something.
Yeah, no, listen. I see Richard Pata from Grundon's in the house. Good to see you, Richard. Look at me wearing my Grundon shirt.
Big fan of the Grundons gear. Big fan.
Listen, I'm a huge fan. James Mitchell, my friend from elementary school. We've been friends since we were 8 years old. Shell, all the way from Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas City, Kansas.
Big difference.
Listen, and it was so funny because the first time I saw her on here, the first thing I asked was, "Are you from Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas?" So, hey, listen, I hate to do this to you, but you're getting shellacked on one page. Yeah. Jess, they're saying you're way out of his league.
Oh
man, you're getting so shellacked.
I go to the gym. I'll be working out. You know, I'll be trying. I guess it's not enough.
I don't know. And I see Matilda on Instagram on here. Matilda, good to see you. Matilda's a huge fisherman from in Europe.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. So I had reached out to her about participating in my Saudi Arabia tournament. So I'm glad to see that we're on here on Instagram. Hey, Fly, on a break for a minute. Happy belated birthday. Oh, thank you very much, James. Thank you very much. It was my birthday last week. I appreciate it. That was right before I went to Colorado for a week and got to go catch some trout.
Did you?
That's so cool.
Oh, my God. It's so funny because we were doing a lot of fly fishing. I got some great videos of my girlfriend fly fishing. She had never done it. And then we chartered 2 drift boats to go down the Roaring Fork River. And I never tell anybody I'm a fisherman. Listen, I'm just going. You tell me what.
Going to have fun. Oh, I never tell the secrets.
I never tell anybody who I am or what I do. I just take pictures and put Fly Zone fishing stickers all over their boat.
There you go. You got to leave the stickers. The stickers are the most important thing. I can't tell you how many times I've been places and had friends go to places and then be like, dude, your stickers are everywhere. Like,
you got it. You got to. And then I have the bobblehead stickers. I don't know if you've seen the bobblehead.
I haven't seen the bobblehead, no.
So I have the sticker with just my face. I put them on people's license plates.
Oh my God.
I put them on handicap signs.
Nice.
All kinds of stuff.
Nice.
Man, we got people from everywhere. We got Maycole from Costa Rica, Frank Rodriguez Jr., Manny Fernandez is in the house. I see all kinds of people on here. But anyway, let's stop just chit-chatting.
Right.
Let's talk about
get serious.
Never. I don't get serious. I can't do that.
Don't worry. There's nothing but smiles from both of us here. So
let's talk about your charter business.
All right.
So where are you based out of? What do you fish for? What do you got? Let's tell everybody.
All right. So Real Tide Fishing Charters, we are an inshore, nearshore charter boat company. I started the company back in 2001, 2002, and ran it till 2010. And I was the captain. I ran the show. I tried to do everything and anything possible to generate business. But that was at the same time as we had that recession. We had a little change. We had all that kind of stuff going on. We actually had the oil spill that affected us drastically as well. So I up and left for the Army for a few years, and then came back.
Whoa! You don't just up and leave for you enlisted.
I enlisted. Well, what it was is I was just getting frustrated with life. As we're in these trying, difficult times right now. I was working every different odd job. I was a bouncer. I was a painter. I was a pressure cleaner. I was a fisherman, and I just wasn't able to do it. And so I decided that I wanted to be bigger than myself. I like to teach people, with fishing, and I like to help people. And so I thought that the Army would be a good career change and, put a little bit of money in my pocket, give me a little bit more direction as well, which we all need in this world. And so once I had done that and did a few years and got shot at, got blown up, I decided that I was ready for fishing again. And then as soon as I got home, I got the call from a buddy of mine that said that that Captain Ed and the Blue Heaven and those guys were looking for a mate. And I was the lucky enough guy to get the call, and they put me on a plane, and I was gone the next day and bringing boats back from the Bahamas and all over the place. And the rest is history. I worked myself into the industry and met some of the most amazing people, throughout that time. I fished with Chris and Max when Max was still working on with Keith on the Houdat. I fished with Thomas when he was fishing on the Delta Don. I fished with a bunch of different guys. I had Johnny from the Shoe come fish with me and stuff like that. So I was so fortunate to be able to meet and to learn all these different ways from all these different guys and put it together for myself. And then about 3 years ago now, I restarted the charter boat industry, and now we have Real Tight Fishing Charters taking over the west coast of Florida. We're buying boats. We're making it bigger. I'm getting more captains. I'm going to continue to push the business in ways just the same like the voodoo guys that you see out of the North Gulf, and then the tube tonk guys down in the Keys. My goal is to kind of simulate, but be better than those guys are. It's a goal. It's a dream. So we're working on it, and we're getting there. It's been a fun journey.
So somebody just recently, when I say just recently, about 3 days ago, sent me a text message. Somebody I hadn't talked to in years sent me a text message because they saw one of your stickers or something on the West Coast. And they reached out to me because I worked on the Real Tight for 14 years. And they're like, hey, man, I saw one of your stickers. I'm like, thank you very much. But it wasn't one of my stickers. It was one of yours.
Yeah. It's crazy. No, I've got a following. I mean, what's crazy is, being in the military, you make some friends and you have guys that literally live all over the world. And so when the guys will come down, they'll come fishing, and then they'll take stickers and I'll send stuff out. And I do, that's part of my, my advertising. Instead of it being about, Matt Fueyo Fishing Charters, it's about Real Tight. To me, it's the branding of the name and getting the name pushed out there. We got lady shirts, we got guy shirts, we got cool hats, we got stickers. We try to do all that kind of stuff to get the name and the brand out there bigger than what we are just individually.
And you're doing a hell of a job because I'm hearing it.
Hearing that's cool.
That's awesome.
Gary DeSantis, good to see you. Before I forget, I've already been called out. I have a fishing report. What are you drinking?
A little Bang energy drink out of my giant Real Tight cup.
I have green tea.
You're much healthier than I.
Yeah, well, I'm also probably a lot older than you. So
you got me by a couple. I got you by gray hairs, though. That's
no. That's because I lead a very calm and relaxing life.
I wish I could say the same about myself.
Well, somebody just actually earlier today. Did you see the videos that I posted on Instagram yesterday while we were sitting at the airplane?
Oh, I didn't know yesterday.
Okay, I did not. So flying back home from Colorado, had a layover in Dallas, just finished pulling away from the jetway, but we didn't get out in time before the storm cell. It's blowing 45 to 50 knots. The wings are bouncing, cool. The wind's blowing, and I'm posting. I mean, we're not off the ground. We're just sitting there. So I'm posting it, and I had a meeting a little while ago, and said, bless you. And
No Rona, no Corona.
Yeah, no Rona. Put on the mask.
We don't need a mask here. We need our shield here.
So somebody asked me about it this morning. I saw your video. I said, yeah, it was pretty cool. It wasn't a big deal. It was, they're like, wow, you're so calm and collective. I go, what was I going to do? Get excited? Yeah. Was I going to get mad? No. Get off the plane?
Right.
They waited. We sat on the tarmac for 2.5 hours. My girlfriend had asked me, she's like, hey, can you tell the pilot not to take off? And I'm like, trust me, the last thing I can do is go up there and talk to the pilot. So we're good. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah. No. So my dad was a pilot for Delta for 37 years. So I've spent many an hour on the tarmac myself. And yeah, I feel for you, brother.
I had no issues. But anyway, let me tell Corey from Oregon has a fishing report. There is salmon being caught on the coastal rivers on the Oregon coast. So this is your fishing report from Oregon. All right, Corey, thank you very much. Wait a second. Mandy Miller, hey Fly, saying hi for the boy. He's on a kayak in the river. Tarzan said those videos were crazy. So have you met Tarzan yet? Have you seen him on Instagram?
I've seen him. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if I'm trying to be his biggest fan.
That's cool.
The kid's a rock star.
He really is.
So he had a beach cleanup this weekend with like 90 people.
Nice.
He put it on all by himself. I know he reached out to me, so I sponsored some buffs and some hats to give away.
Very cool.
So he's out fishing on his kayak. I got to give him a call. I just got back last night. I sent him a couple of rainbow trout pictures while I was gone. But yeah, the kid's a rock star.
Yeah, that's the thing. For us in the charter boat industry, teaching the kids, about the conservation side of things, the catch and release. That's one of the things in the charter boat industry that I feel gets overlooked by really everybody. It's like these people, they come on the charters, they have this perception of, just kill, put all the meat in the cooler. We want to eat it all. But as you and I know, coming from the billfish world, it's sometimes the best part of it is letting them go, letting them swim off and
exactly.
So for me, when we get these kids and they're out there and they're so used to just putting all these fish in the cooler, back at home, they take their little crappies and their little bluegills and they throw them in. I'm like, we can't do that here, guys. We have size limits. We have regulations. We have seasons. We have this, we have that. So sometimes it hurts us when you're trying to book a charter, but when you get the parents and the people that understand that the concept that we're trying to set up the future, then they realize, hey, this is a good thing. We should probably let our kids get taught this, from these guys that are putting themselves out here every single day doing this. This is a resource that they want to continue to have for the next guest and for the next guest, So that's part of the fun of it for us too. So kudos to the kid, man, to Tarzan, dude. You're a rock star in your era, man. That's awesome.
And here's the cool part. He's the oldest of 4. So
really?
So he's got a younger sister and 2 younger brothers that are following in his footsteps. So
I'm a big fan. He's got fans on the west coast of Florida too. So
actually, here's the best part. So when he's putting out his flyers on Instagram, a lot of my friends from Mozambique, from Tanzania, they're sharing his flyers. They're like, listen, we're not anywhere near Florida, but we're going to go clean the beach here in Eastern Africa just to give you some support.
Wow.
Which is a huge thing.
That is a huge thing. We actually, Sarasota and Siesta Key, to brag about our hometown, we just got voted #1 beach in America for like third 3 out of 5 last 5 years or something like that. So we definitely, we're big on our beaches and making sure that we take care of them. And again, the cleanup, the littering, all those things, it's unfortunate that we had all this stuff happen at 4th of July, got canceled. This event gets canceled. All these things are getting canceled, but it is allowing Mother Nature a little bit of rebound time and a little bit of a chance to have that breath of fresh air. I saw on the East Coast, you guys have had some of those spills and some issues with the dreaded words of red tide. And I don't even like to mention it, but
listen, it's fact. Let's get it.
Yeah, I mean it's inevitable. It's inevitable. But
if we don't say nothing about it, then nobody's going to talk about it. So you might as well say something about it.
Right. No, and that's unfortunate. You know, again, I'm really glad that some of the senators and a lot of our representatives are starting to make, you know, moves and to do things that are going to help make, you know, that better for our waters and your waters and everyone's waters for that matter, and continue to help the fishery in the Everglades too.
So going back to your conservation mention, McGrew Rice just joined in from Kona, Hawaii. He said yesterday in the skins tournament, an 835-pound blue marlin was weighed on the Miss Mojo, and Kona right now is at a 90% release rate of all blue marlin, which there was a time they used to kill everything. So the fact that they are releasing so many fish is awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah. That's really cool because that's the big fish fishery. You know, when we were down in the Dominican fishing out of Casa de Campo, you know, it makes you a little uneasy when you see the guys out there swinging their gaffs, but that's the way they make their living. You know, those guys in the pangas are out there, and I'm like, I'm
not going to complain about a guy in a 20-foot panga offshore.
40 miles offshore, no shade, nothing.
While we're sitting on these multi-million-dollar boats, enjoying sport fishing. Listen, that's how he's providing food for his family.
Exactly.
So
the first time I saw it, I was like, but then after I realized, and then I saw what was happening, and I understood more about it. Again, you know, that's where some of those things, you know, being conservative and being a conservationist is big, but the livelihood of other human beings is also just as important. So
it's very, very important. I mean, at least that's the way I see it.
No, I'm there with you. Did we lose our Instagram?
We did. And that was on my fault. I'm going to, I just sent you another request. Answer it. It might show pause mode, but I'm going to fix that up really quick. And my phone silenced itself. It went to sleep.
Mine tried to kick me off too, but I got you.
Yeah.
Just waiting on you, buddy.
No.
So, you know, I wanted to ask you too. So the real type boat. So that, you know, I met those guys down in the Dominican. And I thought that was like, to me, because I had started the business and the internet really wasn't out yet when I got out of the game and joined the Army. And so when I realized that, you know, found out about you and found out about Real Tight, and then I met the guys and I started like putting all this together, I was like, man, this is awesome. This is like the coolest boat name ever, you know, the Real Tight, you know. And then, like I said, once I found out you worked for him, I was like, man, that's awesome, you know.
I worked on that boat for 14 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Which is, and it wasn't, I don't know when you met him if they had the 86 or the 80.
They had 86.
I worked on it when it was the 65 and the 80, and I worked for the father, Jimmy's dad.
Okay.
Then I worked for Jimmy for 5 years. And then I got an opportunity to run a boat out in Hawaii, and that's what I did. I went out to Hawaii and ran a boat out there. And then when I came back home, I started this crazy social media. Let's share what we do as fishermen, and every opportunity I get to talk about fishing, I talk about fishing. So,
well, I know it's been fun. I mean, I've been a fan. You know, we met a few times, and we met like just kind of like, hey, what's up? You know, in the same groups. We met actually up in Cape May, New Jersey for Mid-Atlantic. I fished with the oil slick guys. And then we met down at the Billfish Foundation down in Miami when Chris and those guys, when Caleb was still a kid, and he won all his awards and accolades and everything like that. We met down there. And then I think we saw each other one time in Dominican. It was like a quick pass, and you were down there and I was there, but we were busy. But, you know, that's the funny thing about the fishing world is that, you know, it's all connected, you know, no matter where you go.
Very, very interconnected.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. I love it. For me, I've told Jess, you know, I try to keep in the game, you know, even though I've gotten out, I've gone to this charter boat world and I'm starting my own business up again. You know, to me, just to go visit Chris and those guys up in the North Gulf, you know, just to get a call for Patterson and those guys in the Bahamas on the Tin Man's Pride. You know, anytime I get a chance to go work, and I ain't afraid to work, you know, it's fishing. But anytime I get that chance, I'm like, Jess, I gotta go. Like, you know, and she's like, how long are you gonna be gone for? You know?
No, I'm like, can I?
Just threw you under the bus. Okay, so
I had to get a jab in there somewhere, man. Come on.
So on that note, I'm gonna put I'm going to put a sock in his mouth. No pun
Yeah.
intended. And Jessica, I'm going to jump over to you and I'm going to ask you a couple questions because I just recently got to know you right after you went fishing with my coon ass buddies on the Who Dat. Now, first of all, I have to, okay, wait a second. I got to ask this question. Robert, are you asking about me about your tournament or are you asking about them? And then I'll ask the question that you keep asking 3 different times. So,
I can't see. I can't see it, so I don't know the question.
No, you don't know. So okay. Robert is the tournament director of the Antigua Billfish tournament.
Oh, nice.
And Robert, I went down there 2 years ago because this past year got canceled due to COVID. And I'm supposed to go back. I told him I'd go back. But now he's saying, ask him if, do you guys want to come fishing in the tournament? Them. Okay, I'll ask them. Would you guys like to come fish the Antigua tournament and have him, you've seen my face already. Yeah, but listen, they don't come if I don't go.
Yeah. We're a group deal. We're a package deal, all of us.
It's a group deal. He wants to know if you guys would like to come down and come fishing on one of the local boats for the Antigua tournament next year.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd be more than happy to.
Robert, they said yes, but I take 20% off the top. Just so
there you go. Yeah, we got a finder's fee. Yeah. She's a beast. I mean, you've seen her work. You know, that's the one thing about Jess. You know, she's in the gym every day, which is impressive for me, to me. But you know, she's a beast on the reel. You know, I showed her Caleb's videos of Caleb when he was doing his training with the Rocky music and all that. You know, when Keith built his little sled. So ever since then, Jess has been like, I got to be better than that kid. You know?
And it's so funny because they were in all that training right before they came up to come fishing with us up in Nova Scotia.
Yep.
So, and Caleb became a rock star. He really did.
The kid is a rock star. I love that kid.
Star. I give him credit. Like, we had so much fun. That day that we went mangrove snapper fishing.
Yep.
It was just me, Matt, Caleb, and Keith. And we had, I mean, it was probably one of the highlights. Obviously, catching marlin is a highlight, but that was a really fun day. And Caleb he really is a beast. He knows what he's doing, and he's fun.
So here's a question. And I know if he was watching, I would see it.
They're offshore right now, yeah.
But how much touch of gray is he still putting in that beard to cover up all that white hair? Keith.
No, not me. I was gonna say
not you. No. Because I know Keith. He was using that just for men, and he always teases. He always teases me. He's like, "Hey man, I know you're putting something in." I'm like, "Dude, this is natural. This is no stress." Hi, Miss Burris. Hi, Carrie. How good to see you. He always gives me crap, and it's like, hey man, I lead a stress-free life. I try not to let things bother me.
That's funny.
Shit bothers me. Don't get me wrong. You'll know if I'm bothered because I'll tell you. I'm very blunt, unfortunately. I have zero filter from here to here.
Right.
I have none.
I didn't see any touch of gray. I got a touch of whatever he was putting in there. You know, he was so happy about that boat. He got the new. It's called the Rougarou. Now that's some coon ass stuff right there. Because he goes. Oh Matt, you know, and I'm doing my best Keith accent here. Oh Matt, you know what a Rougarou is? And I'm like, I'm sorry, Keith.
I'm sorry, what?
Arugula? Like, what are you trying to say to me, dude? You know, like, Rougarou. Oh, the kids, when you're little, they have these nightmares and all. And I was like, all right. And so I'm going to get a wrap with the boat, and they're going to have a nightmare like a werewolf, and that's called a Rougarou, and that's what it's going to call. So, I mean, I love me some Keith.
They're so
Keith.
funny.
They are Keith and Tammy are by far the nicest people that I met, just in the industry. And then just to have a conversation with Keith, you know, and it's nothing against coon asses, you know, and that's what they like to be called, just so everybody's really clear.
Yeah, this isn't derogatory.
Yeah, it's not derogatory. That's how they refer to themselves.
If you don't say it, they're not happy.
Exactly. So that, you know, so Keith, but you know, he's invited us down, you know, to the Dominican now. He's invited us up there a couple times.
Have you gone duck hunting with him yet?
I can't bring myself to do it, to be honest with you.
What? Why?
We'll tell some more of this story right here. So Jess worked at Lowry Park Zoo, Tampa Zoo now, which is kind of like a mini Busch Gardens, but without the rides. I shouldn't really even say that. But it's a zoo that, so Jess handled all the birds. You tell me, you talk about birds.
Jess, talk. Spill the beans, man.
So yeah, prior to meeting Matt, my entire career has always been in animal care. So I've always worked with animals. I'm an animal trainer. Now I train birds. I do consultations with people that have parrots as pets, and I help them with like behavioral problems. And I got all of that like knowledge from working at the zoo. And I also have worked at aquariums, like back when I was in college.
Can you train a fish to fetch a tennis ball?
We trained him to eat out of my hand in my backyard.
That don't count. That's eating, man. I want you to throw a tennis ball and watch like a snook bring it back.
Now that would be cool.
That would be
okay,
cool.
I'm just cool. So anyway, keep going.
So yeah, so I've just always worked with animals. I've always trained animals, and so that's one of the things that kind of
that's what
brought us together, because I've always
have you potty trained Matt yet? That's my question.
Yes, I train him daily.
Yes. I only miss the rim once in a while now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you have this bird thing, love, and he can't shoot a duck.
I feel like since we met, he's just kind of come into my world a little bit. Like I've come into his world of fishing, and he's kind of come into my world, which is like a lot of birds and bird training and all this stuff. And I almost feel like I kind of ruined him a little bit. Like I think the idea of
trust me, he was ruined before. Don't worry about it.
Well, and that's honestly the truth, though. I mean, it's like, when I used to deer hunt, and I used to do all that kind of stuff. And after going to Afghanistan, and when someone's pointing a weapon at you, it's a little bit different to turn around, when you're done with all that kind of stuff, and to turn all that off, and then to have a weapon in your hand again, and you're like, it's not the same, it's different when they're shooting back at you. So if you could give the ducks guns and the deers guns, then I'd be cool with it. But until then,
listen, I can line that up for you.
That would be pretty cool.
I could line that up for you. It's funny. My girlfriend, she's an equine vet. She does
awesome.
It's horse vet, and I'm a hunter, and it's one of those things that I still go hunting. I don't do it as much as I normally do, or I used to do, because I'm just so busy. But there's certain, there's give and takes to it. As long as things are getting eaten, she's okay with it. Just the other day while we were in Colorado, I had an elk burger, and she tried it for the first time. Oh, that's right, Carrie, you're a coon ass too. I forgot she's from New Orleans. She goes, coon
asses.
Coon asses are the best. That's right. As long as you're eating it, and
and we're cool with that part of it. But
just because I have always had a career working with animals, and I've always been, part of my job at the zoo is to teach people about conservation. That doesn't mean that I don't understand the necessity for hunting, and like that there is, we have to look at populations, and, if there's a hunting season, it's because there's data on these numbers, and like we need to not have white-tailed deer running across roads and causing accidents, things like that. So
population control is, we're all for it.
Just because I might not be able to raise a weapon to shoot a duck because I'm a bird girl doesn't mean that I'm not okay with somebody else doing it, as long as they're following the rules.
Now here's a question. If somebody, if you went fishing, I'm sure when you were with Keith, he cooked you some kind of duck something.
We actually
didn't.
We had fish, and I brought a bunch of ribs and steaks and stuff. So we were fishing, and when we got there,
but I would eat duck.
Yeah, I would eat duck. Put it this way: when we got there, I got a message when I would hit the bridge in Grand Isle and Fouchon right there. I get a message from Chris like, "Y'all ready to go fishing?" And I was like,
he was like, yes.
I've been driving for
I'm ready.
Hours on end, and I knew it. And the second we got there, Keith y'all ready to go? Oh, yeah, okay, let's go. So we jumped in the Rougarou, and so we ate fish that night. We had cobia and snappers, and then as soon as we got back from the long trip that we did the overnighter, we had tuna, so we were eating yellowfin and doing all that good stuff. So, it was pretty fishy and steaky during that trip. But
listen,
I'm not.
You eat well. You eat well with Keith.
Some slap your mama.
Man, there's a lot of slap your mama. There's a lot of slap your mama.
He puts it on his eggs. He puts it on his coffee, I think. I mean, I don't even know.
He puts it on everything.
Yeah.
And it's good stuff. I'm just very I'm very tender with how much salt I put on my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably like a little more flavor, you like a little more like a different spices.
I like spice. Like I personally, unless I'm just cooking steak, I don't put salt on anything.
Yeah, no,
and then when I cook steak, that's the only thing I put on it.
Right, garlic salt. Actually, I started doing some Worcestershire. I can't say it. I'll just say Worcestershire.
What's that here? What's that here?
What's
that here sauce? What's that?
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Exactly.
So I've been putting that stuff in my steaks and marinating them, and that's my new go-to. I mean, I should have been doing it before. I was using Lowry's, but I'm a steak guy. I'm a T-Rex. Chris always gives me a hard time because I'll send him Snapchats of my steaks, and he'll send me back an emoji of a T-Rex because he and I, we've become really good friends over the years, and so that's how that connection's good, and it's just funny though. I'm definitely a T-Rex. Unfortunately, I think Jess now is growing short arms too. So
if it was up to me, I'd eat steak every night. But
every night,
again, I'm 47 years old, and I try to red meat once a week.
Yeah, that's what we're down to now too. I chicken, and unfortunately, we got to be a little healthier, and but it's good though. It's good for you. I can't. Definitely don't, keep up with that red meat lifestyle. When we were working on the boats, it was like going out to eat every night. Like, oh, what do you want? Steak,
Not me. I actually had some young kids ask me, it's like, how come I never see you out with all your guys eating? And I'm like, well, when we're fishing 15 days in a row, I don't want to be at a restaurant till 9:30 at night.
No.
I usually get up. I'm a 4:00 in the morning guy. I get up at 4. I do my work. Go for a walk, go for a run. Back then it was a run. Now it's a walk.
Jogging?
I don't even go jogging. I go walking now. When I worked on the Real Tide in St. Thomas, there was a mountain right behind the marina, and I'd go run up and down the mountain 10 times.
Nice.
And go do that, and then off. We go fishing.
Definitely not doing that anymore.
No, I go to the park every day. Me and my girlfriend, we go to the park every day. We do our 2.5 miles.
It's awesome.
And with COVID, you got to do something, man.
Yeah, no, our gym's just opened back up over here, and for about 6 weeks now they've been open, and I'm loving it. I'm back in the gym. I'm hardcore. I being an Army guy and an athlete, I played baseball in college, and just trying to maintain forever.
Captain D.
Oh, Darius is on there. Hi, Darius. One of my captains.
What's up, Captain D? Hey,
dude, this kid's a Jedi.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Captain D, you joined in late. You missed when he said he was going to give you guys a raise.
Ooh, I'm taking them on vacation. Actually,
We're going on vacation.
Yeah, I'm taking those guys on vacation.
Company
trip, man.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Just down to Marathon. Just to go do some lobstering and get out. Just let the boys.
Are you guys going by car? Or are you running the boats down?
We're actually going to take a couple boats down there.
Are you running the boats down there? Or are you trailering them down?
Trailer.
Okay. That's the important question.
I'm all for it, but I just like at the same time I'm one of those guys that's a little skeptical of that trip. Captain Darius just made that trip in a 23 or 24 Parker, no problem. But with that time of year, I don't want to be stuck down there for longer. I want to have that quick evacuation plan just in case. If you have to. Yeah.
I have an 18-foot master angler, and I'd run from Marathon to Cape Sable every day.
Right.
Back and forth. Yeah, no. By myself.
Really?
Yeah, I never thought anything about it. I just
That's great. That's wild. Yeah, we ain't doing that. So no, we're good.
Well, think about it. I mean, you've seen some of the things that, you see all these boats where you go, as long as you have all your stuff, communication, safety, just do it. It's a boat.
Yeah. Oh no, I preach the safety. We got mechanics at the boats right now, actually doing some rewire work. That's the one thing with the charter boats. And as you know, with any boat for that matter, just the amount of maintenance that has to go into those things is overwhelming at times. We had a full tower in one of the boats, and what ended up happening was the deck just started flexing. So every wave that we would hit, you would just see the deck flex just with the tower rocking up. And I was like, well, we can't have that. The customers on a calm day would be like, why is it so bouncy? And it would just be the boat just barely moving and that whole tower lifting the deck up. So I was like, yeah, we got to move that out. So we've got that maintenance coming. So that boat will be shut down for probably about 2 weeks. I got some guys in Bradenton there going to do some fiberglass work.
Oh, you saw where somebody said it's a cute necklace, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my snook charm. So this is near and dear to my heart.
I think they were hitting on you.
Oh, I don't swing that way, buddies. Sorry. I got my girl. I'm happy here. No. Hey, it's 2020 though. You do you. I'm okay.
So I gotta, just to describe to everybody, you got real tight charters. Tell everybody what kind of boats you have in real tight charters.
Yeah, so we've got two. Yeah, so with our snook and our tarpon fishing, I am a huge fan of Pathfinder. I once had a master angler, the Maverick, and I'm a fan of the Maverick Pathfinder Hughes, little combo company there. And so we've got the 24 Pathfinders. What I've done with them, two of them, and the other one's a beaver tail, an 18-foot beaver tail skiff that we can use for fly fishing and like 2-3 anglers. A little bit smaller parties, but we have another 24 that we're looking at right now to get a third boat into the fleet in the 24-foot size, because Sarasota has got a ton of tourism. Being that we have the #1 beach in America, we have just tons and tons and tons of tourists that are constantly.
I see what you just did. You just dropped a little #1 beach in America. Yeah. I see that. You know what? Now I'm gonna hit him up for sponsorship of the podcast now.
There you go.
So #1 beach in America.
#1 beach in America. Well, yeah, no, we've got the quartz sand and all this pretty stuff, but so our tourism is always there. So for us, a lot of the guys and a lot of companies like down in the Keys and other places will have those technical poling skiffs where you got 1 or 2 guys that really know what they're doing and they're dialed in and they want to throw the fly and they want to catch a specific fish, a tarpon, a redfish, or a trout, or a snook, whatever. For us, it's completely different. It's more about the family fun. It's more about taking out the, mom and dad taking out the 3-4 kids or whatever many kids and bending the rod and making sure that they're having a good time. So for us, it's really a numbers game versus the quality game. I watch some of those guys in the Keys and I'm overly impressed with their abilities to put customers day in, day out on tarpon and on the fly. And I'm just like, God, man, the pressure that those guys must have to perform like that.
But don't sell yourself short, because your captain today just caught tarpon like literally a matter of hours ago and sent you a text and was like, check this out.
Yeah,
and it's been happening
every day.
Every day.
Yeah, so I don't want to brag about it that much, but we've been catching them.
No, brag. This is the perfect place to brag.
It is the brag. I don't want to toot their horns too loud.
It's not bragging when it's the truth.
It is, and the guys are doing a really good job. So our concept is like what we'll do and how I book the charters. Even I'll tell the guests, I'm like, we're going to meet fish. We'll catch some snappers. We'll catch some fish that you guys can have for dinner in the beginning. We'll yell at you and get all that kind of stuff out of the way so that you learn, our methods. And then from there, we'll begin to snook fish, tarpon fish, and do after that, and give them that option. Because again, you can't just sit there and, at least I can't in good faith go out there and tell, Joe Blow that's never even picked up a rod before from Ohio that he's going to go catch a 150-pound tarpon, first cast. Like, I don't want to put him in that situation. I'd rather him warm up on a few snappers and a few snook and then put him in that situation. So we can teach. The teaching side of things is where, again, in the charter boat world, it's so critical and it's so crucial to, people coming back and to the longevity of our industry that, people are learning things and understanding things. So.
First of all, you remind me of a joke. That story you just told reminds me of a joke where the kid comes home and sees his dad and he says, Dad, where's my cat? And he says, son, your cat's dead. And he goes, Dad, what are you doing? Because I can't take that. That's just too much abruptness. You should say, hey, Dad, hey, son, your cat's stuck up on the roof. We're trying to get him down.
Right.
And then, hey, the cat, you're like what you just said, you don't want him to catch a 150-pound tarpon. You got to warm him up, catch some snappers. Then maybe the cat fell off the roof. And and then we took him to the clinic, the vet, and then after 2 or 3 days say, listen, son, sorry, the cat's dead.
Yeah.
And then Dad said, okay, I'm really, really sorry, I apologize. So then the son says, so anyway, how's Mom? Well, Mom's stuck up on the roof.
That's cold.
That's way cold.
That's cold.
But you're right. It's very important to teach people. It's all about not just getting them out there and fishing, but getting them out there and getting them learning about how to use the rods properly, how the whole aspect goes around. A lot of people that I go fishing with now, when I get reached out to go fishing anymore, it's mainly just to teach people and coach people. Yeah. Because of COVID this year, I missed out on 3 or 4 trips to Costa Rica and DR. I had a trip planned to Cape Verde, which was all pitch baiting blue marlin, just teaching people.
Still want to do that there.
Exactly. Oh, Paul, you can't see it. I got to show Paul my cooler over here on Instagram. And
did you spill your drink? Did you catch it?
I did.
Nice hand. He still got it, guys. He still got it.
I got my Angle cooler. So my boys from Angle, when I was doing the podcast, they sent me as you can tell, I got the cups, and they always sponsor all my tournaments and stuff like that. So nice. I always got to give them a big shout out. But when they saw me doing the podcast every day on Facebook, on Instagram, you really can't see it. But I got this orange Angle.
Oh, I see it there. Yeah.
And it's so funny because it's half cooler, half dry box. Oh. So, and for me, it's product placement. You see,
got about that product placement. I did a little product placement over here. I'll grab this.
Oh, you did?
I did. So I got Jess because she ended up in the. I write for a local magazine. Coastal Angler magazine.
I know Coastal Angler.
Yeah, so I write for them for the local, the local fishing report. And Jess, had caught a couple big monster American Reds up there on that last trip. So I had
you mean those very scarce, endangered,
the elusive American red snapper. Yeah, I'm again conservation. But
listen, I don't want this to get political. I just want to say the endangered, genuine red snapper. Okay, go ahead.
No, but Jess, she had tamed the wild American red elusive snappers, and
along with everyone else on the boat.
Yeah, we smashed them. It was.
Yeah.
But we got some good pictures, and so I wrote an article about it. And so I had that printed up for her. But Coastal Angler magazine, big shout out to those guys too. They are, they've helped push our business as well. I've been able and fortunate enough to write for them. I don't know how I got that, but I did. And so,
how much money did you pay them?
Yeah, zero. I actually, how it worked out is I complained about another article that was written. And the lady said, well, if you can do a better job, then why don't you write one for me? And I was like, sure, okay. So here I am a year and change later, still writing. So it's, that's been pretty fun for us because it helps give the local, some of the local people that might not have heard of us through social media or through flyers or through that they can find us in the magazine that's printed everywhere and in every tackle shop and all over Siesta Key and all over Sarasota for that matter. So it's pretty cool for me. I get a lot of customers that'll tell me, hey, we heard your ad on the radio, or we saw you in the magazine, or we saw this, we saw that. And it's just like, man, putting in our work, we're doing a lot of advertising. I'm putting in as much as I can to keep the business going at 110%, because again, during these trying and unprecedented times, I gotta keep food on the table for my guys, and you know, that's my job, and that's my role as being an owner of a business. You know, so many guys that do this owner operator, and I don't know how they do it, because to me, you can't answer the phone when you got a customer hooked up to a fish. You can't answer the phone when you're driving a boat at 40 miles an hour zigzagging, you know. So
it's hard to do.
Yeah. So that's been my role from an owner standpoint. It's just to being able to keep the guys booked. So all they have to do is, Matt, am I fishing tomorrow? Yep. And we've got it all done in an app, and today's technology. I mean, Jess has got the schedule. My mom's got the schedule. I mean, everybody knows what everybody's doing at all times.
So here's a question. Have you noticed a drop in business or an increase in business?
An increase for us in Sarasota, and in Florida for that matter. I think more so for Sarasota, just because of the beach. Our tourism, again, is through the roof. Planes are landing here at TPA. Sarasota Bradenton Airport is just loaded.
And there's still not a bar open.
Yeah.
But
so I'm going to give you some numbers just so you understand. Just my business. And I lost a lot because of COVID. My business has grown. My business has grown over 400%.
Wow.
Because of COVID. At the very beginning, my social media following, just on Facebook alone, grew by 2,000%.
Really?
Wow.
By 2,000%.
2,000%? That's amazing.
Fishing. In the United States, we have gained 6 million fishermen since COVID started.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
By the U.S. standards. Before COVID, or should I say for 2019, we had 47 million fishermen registered. And we've gained 6 million since COVID. Boat sales in the state of Florida are up by 47%.
Now that I've heard a lot of boat sales, because like I said, we're in the market looking for another 24 to add to the fleet, and I've been seeing more and more pop up, and unfortunately, I feel like they're popping up too because of repos and bank repos and those types of things.
A little bit, but it's people are getting good opportunities, but a lot of it is just people want to go outside. It's a sport that is designed to be socially distant.
Mm-hmm. And that was the first, in March when they announced it, March 12th, I can remember the days exactly. March 12th, we literally shut down. I mean, it was like I had, 20 cancellations. I had every day booked out to the end of April, and we were taking 15 to 20 cancellations a day. And I was just like pulling out the gray hairs that I had. And, I couldn't believe it. Then all of a sudden, once they had started to say that the travel bans were starting to lift, and I think it was June 1st. Right around June 1st. I mean, it was like a light switch, and it just kicked right back in, and we were back to being double as busy as we were in the past. And I was just like, I'm beyond grateful for it. I got to just say thank you to all the people that have traveled, and all of our fans, and all of our customers that support us, because, we've had family come down, we've had friends come down, and, they call us and they're like, how is it? And I'm like, come on down. Like, I hate to say nobody cares, but like, it's just a totally different mentality here. That's just a lax attitude,
it's totally different than what you see on media.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The
we
media,
don't have to get into that, but
it's I'm not going to get into it, but it's listen, it's happening. If you wash your hand, like I just flew out to Colorado and back, and it was the first time I've been on a commercial plane since they shut me down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on a plane a lot normally. Mm-hmm. I was on pace to hit 250,000 miles this year.
Nice.
And they shut me down at 71,000.
Oh
and that was in March. And this is the first time I was on a plane since it all went down, and everything was very safe. People were relaxed. You wash your hands a lot, and there were certain things that are closed, and they're doing everything they possibly can. Listen, it is what it is. We're going to get through it.
Yep.
Until it's done, just go fishing.
Yeah.
Find your
And
local
that's all we
charter
can,
guy. Or
and that's how we preach it.
fishing.
And that's what I've been telling everybody is, come down, come fishing, come out on the boat. It's a private charter, it's just you and your family. It's not, not a bunch of people on the boat. It's not a party boat, and again, it's we're our location. Siesta Key is just we've got a lot of good travel, good things that can happen in our town for traveling, just again, the beaches, Moat Marine. We've got the new UTC mall that's super cool that everybody loves and stuff like that.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, we don't go shopping.
No.
We go fishing.
So if people want to get a hold of you to charter your boat, what's the best way to find you?
RealTightFishingCharters.com, REEL tightfishingcharters.com. And 941-444-9749. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. We're all over the place. You can find stickers of us out in the middle of nowhere sometimes. So you never know.
So if you got stickers everywhere, you guys have T-shirts?
Oh, yeah, we're rocking them right now.
So here, no. How about let's do a little, and these are your T-shirts.
Oh, give me, yeah.
I will pay for the T-shirt.
Okay.
The best selfie with a Real Tight sticker out there.
Ooh.
That you guys put on Instagram, but you got to tag Real Tight.
Yeah,
I'll pay for the shirt, but you guys got to give away a shirt for the best picture.
Okay.
With the
it
Real
can be
Tight
with any Real Tight product though. I feel like it should be fair, because we've got a lot of hats and a lot of shirts. And I mean, the sticker's cool, but I feel like
they have to find the sticker and take a selfie with the sticker.
That's the hard part. That's gonna be tough. I got them in Greece. I had Beach Mike put them in Greece. I mean, there's like stickers everywhere.
There's Fly Zone fishing stickers all over the world. So I get it.
The sticker game is cool. I think like being on the boats, the sticker bucket is like, the good, like, don't mess with my sticker bucket, dude. Like I have like,
exactly.
Like that was like and ever since then I was just like.
So it's your stickers, it's your shirt. I'll pay for the shirt, but you put up the parameters how you want it. Do you want it a picture with your stickers, a picture with one of your shirts?
I think the sticker is good because that's a challenge.
That is a challenge.
Okay.
All right.
So they have to take a selfie. Yep. They have to post it on their social media page
Tag Real Tight and tag you.
Okay. They don't have to tag me, but if you say tag me, that's cool.
I feel like they should have to tag you. They got to notify you. You're paying for it, so I mean,
I don't care. And then let's see, what's today's date?
We got some swag we can give away though. I mean, I got some stuff. If you got if you want to come up with a little something, we can definitely work something.
Well, we're announcing it live now here, and I have no problem doing it. You announce it on September 1st.
September 1st. Okay.
All right. And we could put a static post on it as well if you want.
Okay.
September 1st, best picture with a Real Tight sticker in it.
Yep.
Must be a selfie.
Must be a selfie.
I think it's so cool that you work for Real Tight. I mean, it's like that to me is like one of the coolest parts of it all. So
well, to me it's so weird because whenever they see your name,
there's the
and it's so funny because Stevie Keneally, I don't know if he's still watching, who's the mate on the Real Tight, was watching here a little while ago. He's the one that replaced me. But he says to this day they still pull into marinas and people ask, "Do you know Fly?" And I was there for a really long time. Hey, good morning, Spira, all the way from Australia. Good to see you.
Nice.
Man, we've had
speaking of Australia, we got to give Tim Richardson a shout out for Tim. Those guys.
First of all, we do not call him Tim on this show. We call him the
Mackerel.
The Mackerel.
The Mackerel. Sorry. Well, Mr. Mackerel himself. The Mackerel.
It's not even Mr. Mackerel.
He definitely doesn't get Mr.
It's just
sorry, Tim. I love you. But Tim reached out a couple of weeks ago. We were talking back and forth, and his charter boat industry has been devastated as well. So anytime that anybody gets a chance to go out and charter a boat, like do it. Like if you got plans and if you can travel, and if it's a place or a destination that you guys can travel to, go pay the money, help out these guys, these industries, help out these guys that are hurting. I mean, that dude's got some money spent for his company, and Yeah, he needs all the help they can get right now.
So I don't know if you know this. Me and Tim used to work a cockpit together back in 1997.
No way, really?
We were both deckhands for Cujo on the Rapscallion years ago.
No shit. How was working with him?
He's a pain in my ass still to this day.
I couldn't imagine.
So when I go fishing with him now, that's why I give him shit to pay him back.
Nice. You have to, yeah. I'm a guest on your boat, buddy.
I give him so much shit. And it's so funny because when I was down in Australia, I was fishing with Spera, who's really good friends with Tim, and we rafted up a lot together. And I still give him shit. I have to.
You have to. I met Tim in the Dominican, and the first time he come down the dock, he was with Bowser, or whatever his name is, Bowser.
No, it's Browser.
Browser, whatever. Yeah,
and when you talk to Browser, you make sure he stands up when he talks.
I can tell you a funny story about that. Steve gave him some shit one time, about planes and plane height. But anyways, so no, I met Tim. They were all hanging out, and everybody, because Ed, when I worked for Ed was, the dock guy. Everybody knew Ed as like the dock manager, so everybody would come down to our boat and, and come talk to Ed and ask Ed, what are you doing? Ed, what are you doing? So I got to see all these guys. So the first time I met Tim, he just comes down, and I can't even repeat what he said, but he just had so much to say, and it was so colorful. And I will never forget my first introduction to Tim Richardson. I was just like, oh, that's him. Okay, well, there you go. I never heard the C word thrown out there as many times.
That's an Australian thing.
I quickly learned.
Yeah. When I went down there, I was like, whoa, okay, whoa, I can fit in here.
Yeah, I don't know if I could. I would be like looking like, what did I say?
No. You listen. You have to immerse yourself in the culture.
Yeah, I definitely would. I would full on try. But it was cool though. I met Garrett. I met all the guys, and Garrett's another just great story. But he's those guys are just they're fun. He is a character. Garrett is that kid. He's like the fishiest. He's another fishy dude. I heard he was like he remember 2 years ago, he was like 40 for 40 with clickers on pitch baits. And I was like, and he was like just drunk, I feel like half the time. Like, I don't even know how he does it, man. The guy's a machine though, But
yeah, so, and they've got a pretty good operation down there in the DR. Oh, wait a second. Straight from Australia. It's a natural part of our culture.
Yeah.
The C word. It really is. It took me, and it's so funny because every place I go, they have their own little curse word of choice. Mm-hmm. And when I went to Australia, I literally came home for 6 days after spending 6 weeks up in Nova Scotia. They have their own curse words up there.
Oh, nice.
I go to Australia. So, and I have my own curse words that I choose. Right. So literally, I have to piece them all together. Yeah. So it was like a 6-bang word, and it was. So if I got pissed off at something, it was like blah blam blah blam blah blam blah blam blah blam, and everybody was like, "What in God's name just happened to me?"
That's funny.
Let's see.
Tell me about those gators back there. I see them gator jaws. Are you an undercover gator fan?
I'm not an undercover one. Oh, no. Well, actually, it's not an undercover gator fan. These are all gators that I've hunted.
Okay.
I got another one over here. So, and then I got the blue marlin over here.
All right.
So, when this whole podcast thing started, it started in the front driveway on my two phones.
Okay. I think I remember that even. Yeah.
I just started live on Facebook talking, and then it got too hot. It's Florida, so I had to move in. And then this was a little bar section for my girlfriend at her house, and I'm like, well, if I'm going to make this a studio, now I've got 3 computer screens. Nice. I broadcast with a camera. So I needed to make it a little bit outdoorsy. So that's where we got the gator.
A good outdoorsy feel. It's got a good man cave vibe.
we got, this is a blue marlin bill right here. That's a 529 we killed in Bermuda. There's a blue marlin you see here.
I see it. I couldn't see that. I didn't see it until now. Yeah.
I just kind of made it into a little man cave, and it's an outdoor thing. So I do have a deer head I may hang up one day. Who knows? As this thing evolves, I don't know if you saw it before when I had the big clown over here on this side.
I'm glad I missed it. No, I missed it.
It was an ugly, some people got scared. And I always said I kept it up there because it made me look good. Because it was an ugly looking clown.
That's funny. I've got in here. This is our little office in here that Jess and I have up here in Tampa, and we just got lightning stuff.
I'm a hockey fan.
Yeah,
so
Jess is a hockey.
Bolt stuff on the wall.
Yeah. My office, my man cave has got fishing rods and reels.
I don't have any fishing rods here. They're still at my house. I moved in with my girlfriend like 3 years ago, so I'm really never.
I got nothing here either.
What's that?
I got 5 years. I got nothing here either. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I got a PlayStation. I think that's about it. So
I got this little office I set up, and I got all kinds of little knickknacks here, but usually I jump on a plane and go somewhere. So
see, that was the thing with us, is that I was doing that for like the first 2 years of our relationship, and she got, not saying that she got to the point,
but like I didn't anything. Like yeah. I think Matt really got to a point where he was like, I need to focus on the charter boat business, because this is really what's going to be like how I can control my income versus like.
Well, as you know, working for people, is tough, anytime, and different captains have different methods and different ways they like things to be done. And being a hard-headed individual, Latin man like I am,
he's hard to work with.
Yeah, I am. I do not play well with others,
hard to work with.
So I'm very hard to work with.
But when you do find somebody that you can work well with, that's when it's beautiful, and that's when the magic happens. And, for me, it was, my relationship with Ed and all these other guys that I've worked for has always been good. It's just that you kind of, I realized, like Jess said, that if I wanted to have some longevity or have some type of something to fall back on, I needed to have more. I just working from boat to boat just ain't gonna pay the bills forever.
No, listen, I get it. I did not want to be 60 years old and have to be working for somebody else.
Yeah.
I wanted to be in control of what I did, how I did it, when I did it. Two things right now.
Yeah.
Number one, Spera said that clown must have been really ugly if it made me look good. Yes, it was really ugly. And I want to give a big shout out to Zach McDonald of Sportfish Daily. And correct me if I said that wrong, Zach. It could be Daily Sport Fishing. But he caught his first blue marlin last weekend. So
shout out to you. Nice.
That's the cool thing about how we do this podcast, because it's live on social media. I like to give shout outs. It's very interactive, because sometimes I don't ask the best questions. I do really good on picking on people. But I don't want it to just be and there's a lot of people that I'm jumping over, like Corey gave me some shit a little while ago. Hey, you didn't give me my fishing report. Okay, so I gave him his fishing report, because if not, it's just going to be me talking about everybody else.
Right. No, that's good though. No, I think it's good. I like I said, I've been a fan of the show, and I listen to you just driving down, back and forth to Sarasota and Tampa. Big fan. And it's nice to keep up with the industry. You keep up with the guys. What's happening here? What's happening there?
And now, I don't know if you've realized it, but now we have all of this. We have on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play, Stitch, and iTunes. So awesome. if you miss the show live on Facebook or YouTube, you can actually listen to it as you're driving anywhere you want. So
that's awesome.
we pull out the audio, and then we upload it and so you got plenty of places for people to watch it, play, and listen to it.
Very
and Daily Sport Fish. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, Jess has got quite a few Instagram groups that have been following her and starting to push her. We were kind of like not anti, but we were just kind of like against the whole Instagram thing. And
we just
No,
we weren't doing it hard.
We were never anti-Instagram. We just kind of weren't doing it that much. And Instagram's kind of one of those things where like you feed it and it grows. And so,
oh my God, Instagram's an animal.
It is. Well, we found out now we're feeding the beast, and it's like, you know. So I nothing against Instagram, sorry, but it was at first it was tough for me to be like, I got to do this,
So after we get off, I'm gonna give you a couple little pointers.
Please do.
I have a friend of mine. He was a construction worker, and he literally was able to quit doing construction, and he booked himself 250 days a year.
Oh my God!
On Instagram alone.
See, that motivates me. Yeah, that motivates me. Yeah, it motivates me. Believe me, it definitely motivates me. I just think it's tough. It's you got to just again put a lot of eggs into baskets, and it's just
But you can totally do it. It's just social media.
See, for me though, I still micromanage the business a little bit. Like I go fishing with the guys. I'm like always out there. I'm helping them with the boats. I'm helping the bait. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So it's kind of
it's called delegate, brother.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Zach McDonald has a question for you, and I'm gonna let you answer it. But I'm going to preface a little bit. Zach is asking, what type of boat do you fish on? But you actually have a whole charter fleet. So give out the whole charter fleet.
Yep. So there's two 24-foot Pathfinders, and then there's an 18-foot beaver tail. So the boats that we fish on primarily is going to be the beaver tail, because it's fuel efficient. I can get into inches of water with it, so I can kind of scout and do things. Where that Pathfinder is just going to have a little bit more drag, a little more draw, and just it's less fuel efficient. I got a 250 shell on the back. Well, the beaver tail is more fuel efficient. So the beaver tail, though, I mean, I've poked redfish in the eyeballs with a rod before. That thing is the stealth master. I mean, it is like, for me being an ex-Army recon guy, I love that boat because it's the same thing. You're literally next to your target and dropping baits in front of their face sometimes. So that's my boat of choice. And when I'm just personally fishing, it's just Jess and I, but if we have friends and guests, or that we're bringing on the boat, obviously the Pathfinders are amazing boats. I swear by that. 24 Pathfinder is one of the baddest boats on the market.
And you have two of those. Actually, you got Spera saying he needs to come and catch a tarpon all the way from Australia. He has never caught a tarpon before.
Really, man. My guys this year. We had a regime change with the captains, and I've got some new guys that are working now, some younger guys, and talk about some motivated, hungry dudes that are fishy guys. These guys are like tarpon motivated, where before in years past, we were kind of like, tarpon are tough. Let's stick to what we know in the snook and just pound them on the snook. Well, this year, these guys are like tarpon heavy. So now our catches are full of tarpon. We're getting a lot more of the Silver King going on. So that I've been pumped for that, because that's a fish that, everybody just drools over. And yet, you can also have this much gray hair at 38 over.
I gotta say, a little thing about tarpon. This is what people are asking. So, I feel like tarpon fishing sometimes, where we're from, there's a season for it, quote unquote, when the tarpon are running, there's a lot of pressure, we're going to go tarpon fishing. People want to catch that, 300-pound tarpon, and it's kind of really puts the captains under a little bit of pressure to do that. But this
would
year,
be a world record, by the way.
I mean, I'm okay. So
I didn't want to call her out on it on live, but
I mean,
you live with her, so you're sleeping on the couch tonight. I see.
Just go with it. Just go with it. She's like, I swear it was this big. But this year, what was really fun about the tarpon is our tarpon season kind of came and went, and we caught tarpon. But now, we're still catching them, and we're catching these baby tarpon in the backwater.
Yeah, 80-pound babies.
And an 80-pound baby tarpon is still pretty awesome. Oh my gosh. I personally kind of prefer that, because they are wild. Like those little tarpon, they're so much fun to catch. And that's what the guys have been catching a lot of recently. And for a customer, I guess that's just a great opportunity.
No, you really can't beat that. That's why it's been a great summer for us, business wise. Is the guys they're getting 5-star reviews every which way we look, just because of the ability to go catch a bunch of little ones and then change gears and go catch them, a big nice tarpon. And they're not all just 80 pounders. I mean, there's been a bunch of buck 20s, buck 50s. Darius jumped off a couple 200s, he said, that were easy, so we had a really big tarpon year this year. The guys up in Bradenton were doing really well with some bigger fish. Boca Grande was very sharky this year from what I understand, but I feel like that's every year.
It's funny you say that, because Cody Williams just typed in there, Fly, you should start up a Taxman tournament.
Oh my God, that'd be fun.
And congrats to Cody, by the way. Cody, dude, props on his
weekend. Yeah, he had a good weekend.
Yep.
He had a really good weekend there.
Proud to see that guy doing good, man. It's cool when you see guys, I love seeing when Chris made it into Marlin Magazine, for being one of the young gun captains, and now seeing Cody doing his thing. Those were guys that I worked with as mates on boats. And to see them now coming up and being the captains and running shows and taking over, to me, it's like, man, it's fun to see, because he fished under Jerry, he fished with Tigger, he fished with, some of the greatest names in fishing in our industry. And again, to see those guys come up and start to take control, it's pretty cool,
It is. I'm fortunate enough. I've been doing this almost 30 years, and I've always had a lot of mentees. I call them grasshoppers. Mm-hmm. And one of my grasshoppers is 36 years old right now.
Nice.
I've known him since he was 14.
Wow.
So it's one of those things I take a lot of pride in. And when these young guys call me up, they reach out to me, hey, how do you handle this? How do you do this? And help them. And it's one of those things that for me, I enjoy seeing it. I really do. I enjoy seeing it. I enjoy watching these guys that I saw them as washdown boys, going to deckhands, then become captains and do really, really good job. Speaking of captains, I see Johnny Lagrone is in the house. Johnny, good to see you all the way from Costa Rica. The young guys are our future. We need the next generation. Amen, Spera. Listen, they're the ones that are going to replace us. I'm like, here, have at it.
Well, that's what I was starting to say earlier with Captain Darius, one of my guys. Even though doesn't know anything about blue water fishing, he came up from a fisherman's family. His uncle and I fished together in the charter boats. We used to offshore fish, grouper, snapper, amberjack, tuna fish, all that stuff together for like 3 or 4 years. And then he went off and did his own thing, and he helped raise Darius in the fishing. And so now I've got a 19-year-old captain that is literally as mature or more mature than a 40-year-old guy, but fishes like a 50, 60-year-old guy.
I can say that because at 47, I'm not very mature. So
that's why I was trying to get my age gaps right there. So, because I'm with you too, brother. Don't worry, we're wild men. But for him, what I'm always so just impressed with is just his ability just to keep it cool and calm, collective. I bragged to Chris about him. I was like, you don't ever want me to bring this kid up there to you, bud, because because they used to run a 2-mate program up there, and so they
you might not get him back.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like,
that's the problem.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I told Darius when I hired him, I was like, listen, I don't expect you to stick around here forever. I want to give you as much knowledge as that I can give you for the next 3 to 4 years. And then I'm going to set you up for success. I'm going to help him with continuing his education. I want him to go to mechanic school. He's already got some paperwork done for like outboards, but I want him to do, big diesels and work on, all that kind of stuff. But I told him I would help him, continue his education and help him, get his 100-ton and go get his 150, his 200-ton, all those things and set him up for success and introduce him to these guys in this world, because you want to have the most well-rounded captain that you could have for your program. To me, as owner,
absolutely.
I would be like, you can inshore, you can offshore, you can blue water, you can do this and throw the net. Oh, and you're good with your customers and my guests. Okay, you're hired, So
that really is the most important thing, is having somebody that's well-rounded and you're helping them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. That you're
I'm just
helping
lucky
them.
that I was able to do it myself. And I don't know how I got where I did. I put in a lot of hard work. I know I've worked hard, but there's still room to grow, which is the best part about it. My goal for me personally is to I want to be like the owners of these Sportfish boats and stepping on my Sporty and, hey boys, you ready to go? And let's go, So that's my end goal for me, is to have that in San Salvador and the Dominican, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, where we can just fly around and go from boat to boat and just jump on the boats and be like, let's go boys, because that's where it's at for me. Blue water fishing, marlin fishing.
You know what? Johnny just said something about young mates. That's very important. And I hate to touch on anything negative, but it is very important, is drug free.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I remember when I first moved back from Hawaii after running the Sapo out there. I'm a 40-year-old guy. Now, number one, I know a lot of people. I have a lot of experience, but the ability to find freelance work was so easy because all you have to do is show up on time and show up sober. Johnny's saying it has to be drug-free and drama-free.
Yeah, the drama-free. Well, that's the thing at home. You got to have a good support system. And I've been fortunate, you got to have the girlfriend or the wife that wants you to be successful in what you're doing and supports you throughout the whole thing and understands that month away, 2 months away, 6 months away is part of whatever, it's tough, and again, for me, it was about building these blocks for the business and why I continued to travel. And even when I first restarted the business, I was like, I got to travel a little bit just to make the business better. And then once the business was flowing, then I could sit back and come back and be like, okay, we're good here. Now the business is rocking.
Now it's a machine and it's just working on its own.
And now we can go fishing like we just did. We've been fortunate, like I said, to take a couple of vacations. I fished with Patterson. I don't know if you know Patterson. He's been around. He used to run the Green Machine, but way back in the day, and fished
Green Machine out of down in the Caribbean.
No, I want to say yeah. He's a Bahamian guy in his mid 60s, but anyways, Patterson is just an awesome Bahamian captain. Knows San Salvador, friends with San Salvador, very good guy. But his owner, his boss, Kenny, just sold the Tin Man's Pride. You remember Flash, right?
Oh, I just talked to him. Flash and I share the same cottage in Nova Scotia.
Dude, okay, that's right. That's right. Keith told me that. So Flash just brought the Tin Man's Pride, I guess, north, and they were calling me about it because it just sold. But we used to go over there and go to San Sal and fish. So again, that's what's nice about having the business now where it's flowing and being able to step away from it and not have to operate it the whole time, where we can go do those things and I can show her my passion, and she again has that passion herself. So it just makes vacations that much easier and more enjoyable when you say, hey, we got to wake up at 6 o'clock to go fishing, or 5 o'clock to go fishing, or 4 o'clock to go fishing. I'm on vacation. I don't hear that. She's up. She's ready to go. She's like, so it's good.
So I told you I get called out if I don't. And I was waiting for the right time, but now so Corey has asked, have you ever caught a fall Chinook salmon?
So that's a Chinook, not a snook.
A Chinook salmon. Chinook.
A Chinook salmon? No.
CHINOOK. Chinook salmon.
No.
Okay, so Corey says because he could put you on a fall Chinook salmon out on the Oregon coast.
Ooh, now
that would be fun.
That would be cool because we want to go back up because when I was in the Army, I was up in Fort Lewis, Washington, so I'm familiar with the Pacific Northwest. I do hope that Lewis and Clark died of a very tragic death, but that's about it. Well, yeah, because it rains up there all the time, and
it does. So here we go again. Another honest. You need to find somebody that's honest.
Honest or honest?
honest and with passion, because you can't teach someone to smile and love fishing, but you can teach everything else.
Yeah,
So true.
and that and you know the learning side of things. That's where I feel like today's youth is going to struggle a lot, because all this information is at their fingertips and the know-it-all mentality is there. But I feel like in our industry, it's so hands-on that you can't. I've watched a million YouTube videos on a million things, and then when you actually go to put your hands together to go do it, it just doesn't work the same. It's
Well, here's the one thing that I'm going to disagree with you. When you say about this next generation. So number one, this younger generation that's out there, if anything that they have been taught more than any other generation is that you can do something if you're passionate about it. And they look for passion.
Yeah.
So they're going to do so more so than our generation or my generation. I'm a Gen Xer. It was still go to school, go to college.
Yeah.
And somebody like me, my age group, and I've seen a couple of my buddies already from high school in here. Alex, big shout out to Alex, all the way from Cameroon. My generation wasn't, hey, you got a passion, follow it. What I did to follow my passion, my parents, they're like, you can't do that. And I'm like, Big Ed is in the house. Ed Thompson.
Nice. We've been talking about you, Ed.
Yeah. Not all bad.
No, it was good. It was good.
Stop lying. Some of it was bad. Some of it was bad.
No, it was lovely. Hey, Ed just got back from the Keys. And Ed, so if anybody ever wants to challenge that man in lobstering, don't even show up to the dock, because he will hands down just the guy is a fish. I never thought Ed was the first time I was introduced to Ed, or my first test. He goes, so you said you could catch lobsters, right? And I was like, yeah. I was like, well, go ahead and jump in, throws me in the water, and basically was like, all right, start catching lobsters. And so that was my first test for Ed, and I passed that test, and we were good from there. So that was kind of cool. But what we were talking about with the generations and the kids and all that stuff, it's fun though to see. Now that I've turned Captain Darius onto, I'm putting some money in his pocket. The kid's making money. He's doing really well. His friends are seeing him do all this, and they're just like, what are you, dude? How are you making this much money? How are, and because he's working, there's also that generational gap too, where I feel like the work ethic isn't there, but there's still some kids that are willing to work and have that type of passion that they're willing to chase their goals and dreams and work hard for. So it's still good to see that there's some kids like that. But how you said about, our generation of, just checking the box and doing like you said, go to college, start the family, do all that. No, that didn't work for me. I just wasn't going to be that guy. I wanted to fish. I wanted to chase my passion. And talk to any of my friends from back in the day, and they'll be like, the dude's been talking about fishing since forever. I've been wanting to do this since forever. So it's fun to finally, be living your dream out, and then still be able to dream past this and achieve more. So.
Absolutely. And what Captain Sparrow said as well, you can't beat hands-on experience about what you said.
Yeah.
Watching a YouTube video, but actually going and doing it are two separate things.
And I'll admit, so you and Tyler did a ton of,
the bait rigging stuff.
Bait rigging stuff. And there was a time where I think there was 6 or 8 months where I hadn't fished and I wasn't traveling and I was working on the business. And you had done a chin weighted ballyhoo. And I was like, this is a better way to do the chin weighted ballyhoo than how I had always done mine. And I was sitting there, I was watching the video and my hands could not work the same way. And I was like, I need somebody to physically grab this and show me this. And even though I was watching it, it just wasn't the same. My mind just couldn't compute the same, but I got it and caught fish and it was fine. But
Hey, listen, you can walk down the dock and watch 100 people rig a ballyhoo and they'll do it 100 different ways.
Exactly. And that was, I fished with Adam Parnell. I fished, like I said, I fished with a bunch of different dudes, with Creed. I'm sure you know those guys, they showed me some stuff in the Dominican one time and they're like, why would you do it this way when you can just do it this way? And I was like, Oh man, so I again putting all those tools together and learning from everybody. When I fish with Chris and those guys up in the North Gulf, completely different style from fishing the Dominican or fishing St. Thomas or fishing here. So it's fun to learn and see stuff and then apply it for your own spreads that you get to put out.
Everywhere I go, people are like, man, what would you do? And I'm like, no, I'm here.
I'm on your boat.
I'm on your boat. I want to see what you're doing because I want to learn.
Yeah.
I want to learn.
Yeah. Kevin, Chris's mate, Kevin, I try to pick his brain as much as I can. That guy's the dude that doesn't wear sunglasses out there will see fish before anybody else does. I mean, he's,
I have to stop you for a second because we are being joined by royalty. Delta Thomas is on here.
Big Thomas.
Delta Thomas just joined in, even though he's not Delta Thomas anymore.
I know. He's still cool. He's
still Delta Thomas to me.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Alex from Cameroon says, for those who don't have the luck to travel, YouTube videos help in learning from how people fish in other countries. And that is so true. Because I have like 3 or 4 ballyhoo rigging videos. And it's just how different people do it depending on where they're at.
Right.
And Sparrow says, the day you stop learning is the day you die. Amen.
Amen. That's the one thing on the water. You can never learn enough. And, there's a million ways to skin a cat, and again, when I fished with Thomas showed me so much in a short amount of time. I fished with Thomas, I think, for like 2 weeks. And whatchamacallit, his boss man, I'm drawing a blank on
Pete Manuel.
Pete ran the boat, and because Thomas was like, dude, like I'm gonna just show you, like you just need like this whole here. And so he shot, and I learned this, this basically how we were blue marlin fishing down there, but what it ended up was like a white marlin style, with all the little baits out there and everything. I was like,
well, in the DR, those blue marlin are so small.
Mm-hmm.
So you're using white marlin techniques.
Exactly. So that was different for me. And actually what was kind of cool was at that time, Ed and the Blue Heaven guys, we were transitioning from the, drag and snag to that lighter tackle technique. And so it was a learning curve for everybody. So it was pretty fun to get to be a part of that and, to try some new things and Ed was all for it. Ed wanted to catch fish. Of course, we always want to catch fish, so that was, again, it was the beauty of being in an area like, like a Casa de Campo or a Punta Cana, anywhere like that. You get to see all the guys and you get to learn from everybody and take little bits and pieces and add it to your toolbox and make a fisherman like yourself or like me or like whomever,
You don't want to be like me, dude. When I started, I was 6'4", blonde hair, blue eyes. Now look at me. I'm shriveled up like a raisin. I'm 5'8", brown.
I view myself the same way. I think like a Tom Brady, but just something.
So you're TB12? No, not me.
I'm a Dolphins fan. I should be a Tua guy, but he's short too, so I was going to go with the taller guy.
So on this note, we're going to start getting ready to wrap up. So I'm going to let Jess jump in and start the goodbye side of this, being that your man took over most of your time anyway.
That's okay. I expected it. I told him, I was like,
Jess, tell me about some of the blue marlin that you caught on the Houdat that we shared on social media, because you tagged Fly Zone Fishing in it. Hey, you don't have to get off the camera, Matt. You're walking yourself right out.
I was saying hi to the dogs real quick, actually.
Yeah. My dog keeps walking around because there's a thunderstorm brewing. She's getting nervous.
Thank God we don't have that. We'd be cleaning up poop right now.
Yeah, she just gets nervous. So Jess, tell me a little bit about those blue marlins that you shared with us that you caught on the Houdat.
Yeah, so that day that the picture that I tagged in like that little video clip, that day we were
3 for 4.
3 for 4 on blues.
That was our second blue.
And no, the second blue?
Yeah, Doc caught the first one.
Second blue. But what was really cool about that fish was, I know he doesn't forget anything. Like he remembers the bite, what it looked like, everything. So what was cool about that marlin was we were pretty close to one of the rigs, and that fish ate a lure and then pulled some drag and ended up kind of close to the rig. So there was a little bit of a high stress moment of like, get her in the chair, get her ready, and then you better start cranking right now because you don't want that fish any closer to that rig. So I just was like, okay, so I got set up and was just cranking. I'm just kind of like watching and listening to what people are saying. And I'm like hearing Chris, talking to the captain upstairs. He's like, I was kind of listening to a lot of what he was saying.
Keith did a really good job.
And Keith, oh my gosh, your boy Keith, I don't know what I would have done without him. Keith was like, the voice on my shoulder the whole time, like coach, totally just a coach the whole way through. He was just like, you got this. And Keith was so funny. He was like, if you feel like you got to like make some weird noises and like grunt a little, like it's okay. Like you can scream and yell. And he was like egging me on. Like, I think he was trying to get me to like make some weird noise.
But you didn't do it in the Keith accent.
But it was really funny. It was very motivating. And he really like, he was there. Caleb was there. Of course, Kevin,
Chris,
Caleb,
everybody.
Literally
the
best team of people I could have imagined were like helping me. And that was probably the greatest part about it. I mean, we landed the fish. I cranked that fish well, away from the rig.
She did a good job. What was cool is that fish was like greyhounding towards the rig. And then that one of the hook, the Mexican golf guys were there.
Voodoo.
Or the voodoo. It was voodoo guys. Yeah, the voodoo guys were there. And that fish was maybe 10 yards off the bow of their boat, just jumping. And then, like she said, we were right next. I mean, outriggers were no further than 25, 30 feet away from the rig itself. And it was Chris again, Captain Chris, another young Jedi, was just so calm. That dude is, again, just, he never yells. He doesn't get too hyped up or anything, but it was really cool to see that happen. And we, they were both, all bites were lure bite. Oh, we had one pitch bait bite, but it was good. It was good fishing. And awesome. Then big yellowfin was cool. It was just a great trip.
What was really like just a good learning experience for me was to see how when you're marlin fishing, it is such a team effort. Like not one person catches a marlin. Like it really is, everybody on that boat contributes something. And it was like amazing to just see how it all came together. And everybody was very chill because they do this all the time, but still it's like clockwork,
it's like a fine clock.
Yeah, exactly.
And it ain't broke, so we ain't fixing it. So
there you go.
Yeah, it was good.
And it's cool, but but Keith again, big shout out to those guys and the Houdat team because they're so good at what they do. Yeah, I'm just always impressed, and everything's always, Chris, we talked a lot about how Max was very organized. Max was very, just detail oriented and everything labeled and preparation and all those types of things. And again, when you fish with different guys, you learn different things. And I try to apply again all those things, even from the blue marlin world to my inshore company, and just trying to do everything and be prepared and overly prepared for that next day. As I emphasize on my captains, hey, be rigged and ready. Nobody likes a captain that shows up to the dock and he's sitting there tying all his rigs and doing all that stuff. Be ready to go.
For everything.
Everything.
So is there anything we missed?
I don't know. When do we get to do this again? This was fun.
We can do it at any time, man. When I ask people to do it, people get nervous. I don't know what to say. What are we going to talk about? I go, don't worry. We're just going to shoot the shit.
And that's what I was that way when we talked earlier. I was like, I'll send you like what I've done and do it. I figured I was like, I'm good.
And all we're doing is, that's why as soon as we connect on Zoom, I don't even want to really talk. I try to get everything ready beforehand. Because why are we going to talk off air? Let's talk on air and let everybody hear every little bit about it. Yep. There's a couple things that you may not want on air and I might not want on air, but all in all, the most of the conversation is let's have it right here on the air. So
that real talk, no BS.
No BS. The no BS means I don't want to hear any political bullshit, but we do a lot of BSing. Shoot the shit. What we may do, I know we've talked about doing like a panel of 6 sail fishermen. One time we might do it because I can get up to 100 people on here, but anything more than 4 or 5 gets a little crazy.
That'd be cool though.
But yeah, maybe we can do 4 or 5 inshore guys. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So,
Nice.
but on that note, we're going to wrap up the live section. You guys don't hang up. You guys stick there.
Okay.
To all you cool cats and kittens, we're going to sign up. You know who that is, right?
Oh, yeah.
I so stole it, and I have to give it to my girlfriend. She's the one every once in a while she'll jump on here. Hey, you cool cats and kittens.
Yeah. I say it to our guests all the time. Anytime I greet them, it's like a thing.
Yeah, it really is. I'm going to repeat this line. Johnny Lagrone says, Sparrow is an old bastard. Absolutely he is. He's older than me. Actually, I think he's your age, John. So, all righty, everybody that's joined us on the live. You can catch this again. It's going to stay on Facebook here, but it's going to be up probably within a couple days on Spotify and iTunes and iHeart and all that other stuff. So if you missed anything, you want to hear it, we're going to have at you. You can take it with you and watch it wherever you go. Johnny says he's younger than Sparrow. Hey, Stu Cameron, all the way from New Zealand in the house. What's going on, Stu? Good to see you on here. John's older than me. Look at them. They're fighting.
Now they're fighting. Yeah, we created controversy. I like it. I like it.
Listen, if that's the most controversy we can start, I'm happy. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much. And you guys stick right here and we will check you out. I don't know if I have somebody tomorrow. I know I have another one this week. But everybody set the notifications and thank you so much for joining us. Peace out.